This conference will now be recorded.
In the last class, we have seen about Eclipse IDE and we have seen how to develop a Java application in Eclipse IDE. And we have seen about the basics part like the meaning of comments, keywords, variables, and data types. So coming to data type, the meaning of data type is the type of data the variable holds. That is the meaning of data type. And we are in two types, primitive and reference. And we have seen about the primitive data types. In Java, we are in totally 8 primitive data types. They are byte, short, char, int, long, float, double, and boolean. Remember the count 8 so that we can get the list easily. Then the next one is size. So when we allocate memory for your variable, we need to declare that variable. So what is the syntax of declaring variable? Data type and variables list separated by comma, and every statement should end with semicolon. Based on the data type of variable, it's going to allocate some memory space that only we call size. So for byte, it occupies 1 byte of memory, short is 2 bytes, character 2 bytes, integer 4 bytes, long 8 bytes, float 4 bytes, double 8 bytes, and coming to boolean 1 bit. And we are in one more very important one, default value. So for all integral types, the default value is 0. For floating types like float and double 0.0, for character a single space, and for boolean it is false. So in case of Java, there is no concept of garbage values. It goes with the default values. Then reference types. So other than this 8 primitive, remaining all are reference, like arrays and classes comes under reference type in Java. Now today let us go with some important points on data types. Points on data types. Getting some important points. The points on data types are like default values. So we have seen about default values now. Default values are applicable only to the data members of the class, not for local variables. What is the difference between data member and local variable? Both are variables only. The difference is if you declare a variable inside a class, declared within a class is called as data member, and local variable declared within a method is local variable. Like example, if you take a class sample, how to create a class in Java? By using a keyword class and the name of the class. Class sample, open and close curly braces. Then here, if you declare any variable as part of class, then this is called as data member. If you take a method like xxx, in this xxx method, if you declare any variable, then we call this one as a local variable. So other than local variables, remaining all are data members only. Now, let us print the value of this n. So in the document, I'm using SPOP. So the meaning of SPOP is, in the document from now onwards, system.out.println. What is the use of this? To display messages or the value of variables, or both. So from in the document, now onwards I'll be using SPOP, which means system.out.println. So what you are doing here, we have taken a class sample with a data member m, and we have taken a method, and if you declare any variable inside method, we call them as local variables, and if you declare any variable as part of class, we call it as data member. Now to run a Java program, which method is required? Main method. So I'm just going with the part of main here. In main method, We are creating object of sample. In main method, we are creating object of sample. Then by using this object, if you print the value of m, what is the value of m it is going to display for us? What is the value of m it is going to display? So what is the default value for integer?
0.
0, right? What is the default value for integer? 0. So when I'm trying to take this m value, but there is no value to this m, then it goes with what? Default value 0. Now, by using object, if you call the method xxx, then here in this we are having a local variable and we are trying to print the value of local variable. Then what is the value of n it is going to display for us?
0.
0, right? So this is the main thing to understand here. See the point now? Default values are applicable only to the data members, not for local variables. This is not for local variables. So in case of Java, if you take a local variable and if that local variable does not have any value, and if you are trying to use it either for printing or processing, if no value to local variable, then it goes with error in Java, and the message is local variable n should be initialized. The local variable n should be initialized. The meaning of initializer is when you declare the local variable, we should give some value to local variable before using. Before using, we should give some value to local variable. If there is no value to local variable, and if you are trying to use it either for processing or printing, it's an error in Java. So what is the point here? Local variables need to be initialized. Local variables need to be initialized. Next point, memory allocation for reference data type. Memory allocation for reference data type is done during runtime using new operator. So whenever you want to allocate memory for reference types, we have to use what operator? New operator. That's the reason when you are creating objects for your class, we are using new operator because classes comes under reference type. So this point we'll understand more when we come to the topic arrays. One more point, default value for reference data type. Default value for reference data type is null. What is the default for reference data types? Null. Like example, if you take a string, it is data member only because default value is only for data member. And if you print the value of s, it goes with what? Null here. Okay. So any questions up to here? Anyone any questions? Right? So what are the important points we discussed here? Points on data types, default values. In the last class we have seen default values, no? So default values are only to the data members, not for local variables. How to identify local variable? If you declare a variable inside a method, we call local variable. Other than local variable, remaining all are data members. So if you are by using object, if you print the value of m, it takes the default value 0. And by using object, if you call the method xxx and there is a local variable, and if you are trying to print the value of local variable without having any value to that, it's an error. So we have to initialize the local variables. Initialize means when you declare the variable, we should give some value to the variable. That only we call initialization. Memory allocation for any reference data type is done during runtime using new operator, and default value for any reference data type is what? Null. Now, let us move to the next and important topic here, typecasting. Typecasting. So what is this typecasting? Is like converting from one primitive data type, into another primitive data type, or converting from one primitive to another primitive, or converting from one reference data type into another reference data type is called as typecasting. Converting one primitive to primitive or reference to reference. Okay, so today we'll see only primitive to primitive conversion. Reference we'll discuss once we come to object oriented. There are two types of casting. They are implicit casting and explicit casting. Implicit and explicit. Implicit is internal, automatically it is going to convert. Explicit is we have to apply the syntax. Okay, so we are seeing about what is casting. What is casting? Converting from one primitive to another primitive, one reference to another reference. And we are in two types of casting, implicit and explicit. Let us initially go with implicit casting. Let us go with implicit casting. So what is this implicit? Is converting from lower data type into higher data type. Converting from lower data type to higher data type. How to know which is lower and how to know which is higher? The sizes here. So here in this one, this byte is lower than integer, short is lower than long. Okay, then integer is lower than double, like this. So we have to see the sizes here. Now, let me elaborate with the example. If you take an integer variable n whose value is 100, we want to convert into long x equal to n. So integer is 4 bytes, long is 8 bytes. So lower to higher, so the conversion will happen automatically. That is implicit. Then you need not do anything for this. And if you print the value of s, so what is SOP means? System.out.println. I'm using shortcut in the document. So when you write SOP x, then the value what it's going to print here is 100. One more example. If you take byte b equal to some 35 and we want to convert into double. So byte is 1 byte, double is 8 bytes. So lower to higher, the conversion will happen automatically. And if you print the value of t, it is 35.0. It's going to add dot 0. One more example. If you take character c equal to some 6 capital A. Character c equal to capital A. Whenever you go for characters, the value should go enclosed in single quotes, and there should be only one symbol here. The character should be enclosed in single quotes. Now we want to convert into integer here. So character is 2 bytes, integer is 4 bytes. So lower to higher conversion will happen. But if you print the value of n, then what is the value of n it is going to display for us? That is important here. Can anyone guess the answer? What is the value of n it is going to display?
Errors.
It is 65. Not error, 65. So what is this 65 is? This is, we call it as Unicode of character A. You might have heard about ASCII codes. So for any symbol you take, we'll have ASCII codes. Similarly, we'll have Unicodes also. In Java, we say Unicodes instead of ASCII codes. C++ supports ASCII codes. C++ supports what? ASCII codes, which contains 256 symbols. In ASCII codes, we are having only 256 symbols. Then, coming to Java, .NET, PHP, Python supports Unicodes. Supports what? Unicodes. And in the case of Unicodes, we are having 35536 symbols. Unicode supports what? 35536 symbols. Then ASCII codes are subset of Unicodes. So what is the meaning? What are the ASCII code we are having? What are the ASCII code we are having? That will remain same for Unicode also. So this 65, either you can call it as ASCII code or Unicode. But in case of Java, we use the terminology Unicode. Clear everyone? Implicit casting, any questions? No. The next important one, explicit casting. What is this explicit casting? Is converting higher data type into lower data type. Converting higher to lower, reverse by. Like example, if we take long x equal to 100 and we want to convert into integer. So here long is 8 bytes, integer is 4 bytes, higher to lower, this will go with error. This goes with error. But our requirement is to convert long to integer. Then the solution is we have to write like this, int n equal to, in parenthesis we have to say int and say x here. So mentioning the type of data what you want to convert in between this parenthesis, that is the meaning of explicit. So we are informing the compiler that I'm really willing to convert long to integer. How to inform? By providing data type what you want to convert in parenthesis. Now if you print the value of n, it is 100. If you take a double d equal to some 45.5 and if you want to convert into short, then goes with what? Error. Then how to convert now? Short is equal to, in parenthesis say short and say d. If you print the value of s, it is only 45. It takes only the decimal part. The fraction part is ignored. Take integer n equal to 65 and if you are trying to convert into character, goes with error. How to convert? Character c equal to, in parenthesis say character and say n. Now the value of c will be capital A. One more good example. If you take a variable float f equal to 3.14. In float, can we store a value with a decimal point?
Yes.
That's right. We can store a value with a decimal point, but in Java, this is an error. This is not an error. The reason is, in Java, a value with a decimal point. In Java, a value with a decimal point is double data type. So this is double data type. So double is 8 bytes, float is 4 bytes. So higher to lower, not possible. So what is the reason? Since in Java, a value with decimal point is double type. It's for double data type. Then how to give value to float now? Float f equal to, you can apply the casting float and say 3.14, or and say float f equal to 3.14 and with small f, or float f equal to 3.14 and with capital F. When you are giving the value to float variables, you either end with small f or capital F. Clear, all of you? a casting concept. Right? Now, how to check all these things practically? So how to check practically? We have to open Eclipse, create a new class, then type the code in main method and run it. So these many steps we need to do to check whether our learning is correct or wrong. Instead of doing that, only for practicing, only for learning purpose, we can make use of one tool called as JShell tool. You can use one tool, what here? JShell tool. JShell tool is added in Java 9 version. From which version we can use this? Java 9 version. What is this JShell is? JShell is an interactive tool to execute the Java statements. Use it to execute what? Java statements. Then to open JShell, open command prompt or terminal and simply use the command JShell. Just we have to use the command JShell, then it will show JShell prompt. Let me show this. Insert, open command prompt, then just we have to use what command? JShell. It's going to show JShell prompt. Here we can type our Java statements like example system.out.println message. Welcome to JShell, which displays this message onto the screen. So you need not create a class with main method to check for writing the codes here. So just use JShell to do this process. Then if you take integer n, what's the default value for integer? 0. What's the default value for double? 0.0. What's the default value for boolean? False. What is the default value for string? Reference type? Null. Coming to casting, if you take integer n equal to 100 and if you are trying to convert into long, conversion will happen automatically. If you take character c equal to capital A and if you are trying to convert into integer, so what is the value of nc? 65. Then if you take long x equal to 100 and if you are trying to convert into integer, goes with error. Incompatible types, loss of conversion from long to integer. Then how to convert? Integer n equal to, in parenthesis say int and say x, then the value of n is 100. If you take double, d equal to some 45.5, if you are trying to convert into short, goes with error. How to convert? Short s equal to, in parenthesis say short and say d. Now the value of s will be only 45. If you take integer n equal to 65, but trying to convert into character, error. Then how to convert? Explicit casting. Now the value of c will be capital A. To take a variable float, f equal to some 3.14, goes with error because double to float. This is double type. Then how to give value to float? By ending with either small f or capital F. So JShell is a simple tool to check whether your learning is correct or wrong. Only for learning purpose this is. Only for learning, not to create bigger projects like that. Only for learning purpose we use this JShell tool. Okay. So if you are having any small queries now, we can simply just open JShell tool and type the statement and check it. Then, how to come out of JShell? /exit. You come out of JShell. Which prints here, welcome to JShell. To exit, what we have to write? At your JShell prompt, simply say /exit. Clear everyone? Any questions? No. Let us move to the next topic today, operators. Now, so the meaning of operators are like plus, minus, greater than, less than. These symbols we call them as operators. And these operators are divided into some categories like arithmetic operators. They are plus, minus, asterisk, slash, and percentile. This percentile we call it as modulus operator, mainly to give the remainder. Relational operators. Relational operators are like greater than, less than, greater than equal to, less than equal to, and not equal. Exclamation equal is not equal. Logical operators. Logical operators are like two and symbols, which we call and, two pipe symbols, we call it as or, exclamation is not. Assignment operators. Assignment operators are like equal to, plus equal to, minus equal to, are equal to, dash equal to, and mod equal to. Conditional operator. Conditional operator is only one question mark, which even we call it as ternary operator. Increment and decrement operators. Increment and decrement operators are plus plus and minus minus. Now let us understand all these operators in detail now. Let us go with the first one, arithmetic operators. In this, plus means addition, minus hyphen means subtraction, asterisk star means multiplication, slash division symbol is for division, and percentile is for modulus. It is mainly to give the remainder. Like example. So this addition, subtraction, multiplication, we won't have any confusions, but people will have confusion with slash and modulus. Let me elaborate this. So if you take here 5 by 2, what is the result? When you divide 5 by 2, what is the result we get?
2.5.
Yeah, some people will say 2, some people will say 2.5. The actual answer is 2 here. Actual answer is what? 2. I can check it here. If you open JShell and if you write here 5 by 2, see the result what you are getting? 2 here. Okay. And when we say 5 mod 2, what result we get? 1. So when the numerator is integer, denominator is also integer, it goes with what here? Quotient. It goes with quotient. If you say 5 mod 2, what is 5 mod 2? 1. Remainder, it takes the remainder. If you take like this 5.0 by 2, and what is the result here now? 5.0 by 2. Now you can see the answer as 2.5. So now you can see the answer as 2.5. Or 5 by 2.0, the answer is 2.5. So if either numerator is fraction part, denominator is fraction part, or if both are fraction part, the result is fraction also. But if both are integers, then we have to go with quotient and remainders. Okay. Then what about this one? 5.0 mod 2.0. The result is 1.0. 5.0 mod 2.0. The result is say 1.0. Coming to relational operators, the use of relational operators is used to form the conditions. Meaning of conditions means comparisons. comparing one value with another value. Comparing one value with another value. Like example, if you take a variable age whose value is 10, the value of age is for 10. Now we are writing the code like this: age less than or equal to 20. This comparison, checking one value is less than or equal to 20, just comparing, this only be called condition. In this example, is this condition true or false? Ten
True.
less than or equal to 20, it's a true condition, right? So always remember, a condition can be either true or false, but it cannot be both. We should not say true and false. So a condition can be either true or false, but cannot be both. If you write like this, age double equal to 10, single equal to means assignment, means 10 will come and store into age variable. Double equal to means comparison. It will check whether the value of age is equal to 10 or not. So what is this one? Checks for equality. Checks for what? Equality. Next one, logical operators. The use of logical operators is used to join the conditions. For what? To join the conditions. Like example, let us suppose if you are accepting 3 marks, like mark 1, mark 2 and mark 3, and if every mark is greater than or equal to 40, we'll say the result is pass. So what is the condition here? If every mark is greater than or equal to 40, the result is pass. How will you form condition now? Mark 1 greater than or equal to 40, mark 2 greater than or equal to 40, mark 3 greater than or equal to 40. When we want to ensure all conditions should be true, when we want to ensure all conditions should be true, then we join conditions with and symbol. Join with what? And. When we join with and, if all conditions are true, then the entire condition will become true. Then we'll say the result as pass here. If you get any 1 mark less than 40, if you get any 1 mark less than 40, then the result is fail. Then I will form condition m1 less than 40, m2 less than 40, m3 less than 40. Anyone means we have to join with or. You have to join with what? Or here. When you join with or, if one condition also true, the entire condition will become true. Then we'll say the result as failure. Means what is the point? In case of and, all conditions should be true. In case of or, any one condition can be true. Okay. Now, what about not? Not is like negation, means if the condition is true, it makes it as false. False means true. So whatever operators I'm discussing, everything will be discussed programmatically. So if you understand operators only, once we start writing the programs, you should be able to use the operator. So we'll be using almost all our operators in our programs. Then, assignment operators. These assignment operators, even we call it as shortcut or shorthand operators. Shortcut or shorthand operators. Like example, if you take a variable x whose value is 10 or whose value is 5, the value of x is 5. Now, if you write the expression like this, x equal to x plus 5, x equal to x plus 5, then what is the value of x after this expression? This we call expression. After this expression, what will be the value of x now?
10.
10, right? 10. So it writes internally 5 plus 5, 10. Now, same expression, the same expression we can do using shorthand. How to write is using shorthand. If there is same variable before equal to and after equal to, if there is same variable before equal to and after equal to, then you can write the text only one time. Write the text only one time. And what is the operator we are using here? Plus. Then you can convert it as plus equal to. Then say fine. That's it. You need not repeat x 2 times here. That's the meaning of shorthand. One more example. If you take a variable y equal to 10, and if you write y equal to y into 20, what's the value of y now? What's the value of y now after this expression?
200.
200. How it writes internally? 10 into 20, 200. Then how to write using shorthand? How to write using shorthand?
Y into equal to 10, 20.
20, right? This one we should take. This value we should write here. So y, you write only one time. What is the operator star? Star equal to and say 20 here. So anything we can use. Either you can use this expression or shorthand. Anything is fine. The result is same. Then coming to the next and important one, conditional operator. Let us understand with the syntax. The syntax of conditional operator is, it is used to check a condition. It's used to check a condition. If the condition is true, then question mark, expression 1, else colon, expression 2, colon, expression 2. Means in this case, if the condition is true, it will go and execute the statements present in expression 1. If the condition is false, it will execute the statements present in expression 2. So what is the use of this? It is used to check a condition, and if the condition is true, it will execute expression 1, else if the condition is false, it will execute expression 2. Like example, take two numbers like n1 equal to 10 and n2 equal to 5. Out of these two numbers, we want to know which is big. Then we can write like this: int big equal to compare. If the value of n1 is greater than n2, this we call condition. Question mark. If the condition is true, we'll give n1 value to big, else n2 value to big. If you print the big value, then what is the output we get here? See here, 10 greater than 5 true. Then n1 value will come and store into big. Then what's the value of big? It's going to print 10. If you take same example, and if you make n2 as 15, 10 greater than 15 false, means expression 2, this n2 value will come and store into big. Now the result will be 15 here. Condition true means expression 1, false means expression 2. Clear everyone? How to use conditional operator? Right? There. Let us move to the next one. Increment and decrement operators. Increment means plus plus. When we use plus plus, value of variable is incremented by 1. Decrement means minus minus, value of variable is decremented by 1. Like example, if you take a variable x equal to 5 and when we write x plus plus, then if you print the value of x, the value of x will get incremented by 1, which is 6. So take a variable x equal to 5, and if you write x minus minus to decrement, then if you print the value of x, the value of x will be 4. So plus plus means one value more, minus minus means one value less. We are in two types here. Types of increment and decrement, they are pre and post. Pre-increment, post-increment, pre-decrement, post-decrement. Now let us understand what is this pre and post, the difference using a diagram. Let us understand the difference. Give as post. So this side is pre, this side is post. Here, let us take a variable x equal to 5, and when we write plus plus x, when we use plus plus operator before variable, then we call pre. Now if you print the value of x, here I am printing in SOP x equal to in double quotes. So whatever we keep it in double quotes, that will get printed as it is. And what's the joining symbol between message and variable? Plus the concatenation symbol and variable x. And how the output will come here? X equal to as it is, then the value of x, which is 6. Coming to post. Here x equal to 5, and when we write x plus plus, when we use plus plus operator after variable, we call it as post. Now if you print the value of x, then the value of x, what it is going to print here is 6 here. Either you say plus plus 6 or x plus plus, the value of x will get incremented by 1. Then when the difference comes, to understand the difference, let us go with the example. Here we will write int x equal to 5. Now understand, we are writing like this, y equal to plus plus x. We are assigning plus plus x to a variable now. Now if you print the value of x and y, see how I am printing, see x equal to the value of x, then space between the values, again y equal to the value of y. How the output will come? First it's going to print x equal to, so whatever we keep it in double quotes, it will print as it is, then the value of x, which is 6, then space between the values, so we get space between the values. So the joining symbol between message and variable, or variable and message, the joining symbol is same, plus symbol. So here we get space, then y equal to in double quotes, then the value of y, which is 6 here. Coming to post, int x equal to 5, and if you write like this, y equal to x plus plus. Now if you print the value of x and y, then in this case the output will be x will be 6, but y will be 5 here. Let us understand the difference now. So in the case of pre, pre means before, so first it is going to do the increment operation. I'm writing the number for your reference. First it is going to do the increment operation. After incrementing, so it will become 6. That incremented value is given to y. that incremented value is given to what? Y. So second is assignment. First increment, then second step is assignment. That is the reason Y is what? 6 here. Coming to post. Post means later. So first assignment. First what it is going to do? Assignment. First it is going to take the value of X and stores that value of X into Y first. Stores the value of X into Y. That's the reason Y is what? 5. So first step is assignment. First it will take the value of X and gives it to Y. Then second step goes with increment. Second step is increment. That's the reason X is 6 and Y is 5 here. Please recap so that you can remember again very easily. One more example. Int X equal to 5, and directly in SOP, if you write X equal to S plus X, then the output will be X equal to 6. First it is going to do increment. First it will increment, then prints. Coming to post. In SOP, if you write X equal to, then here X plus plus, then the output will be, in this case, X will be 5. First it is going to print the value of X on screen. After that goes with increment. Okay, clear all of you the difference between pre and post? I have shown only for increment. You try to work out for decrement. Right? So any questions, anyone? Okay, so that's about operators. We'll be using all these operators in our programs. Then tomorrow we'll be going with a new topic. Initially we'll go with the scanner class, which is mainly used to read input from keyboard, to read some data from the user. During runtime we go for scanner class and we start writing the programs. And after that we'll be even discussing the control statements like if statement tomorrow. Okay, so from tomorrow we'll be start writing the programs, and even you will be getting the assignments from tomorrow. Right? Thank you all.